Today is Friday, June 20th, 2025. I am the interviewer Amy Moritz with Dorothy DJ Jones at the Julia Boyer Reinstein Library. DJ was a 1,000-point scorer at McKinley High School, earning all New York State honors as a senior in 1984. She went on to play at Louisville, finishing her collegiate career with 804 points and 399 assists in 114 games. She kept her ties to the game by becoming a basketball official, working both high school and NCAA games. She also spent 25 years with the New York State Police and is a member of the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame. Hi, DJ.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this.
So excited to talk with you. So, first question, tell me about a time you first remember falling in love with sports.
Oh, shoot, that's easy. Fourth grade. But before that, I was playing in the streets, of course, growing up, playing football, kickball, softball, jumping roofs, you name it, basketball, of course. But when I really fell in love with it, I probably was about 9 years old.
What?
9 years old.
Do you remember, was there a moment or something about that when you were in fourth grade?
Well, my neighbors had a basketball court next door in their yard, and I started playing. I picked the ball up, and I never put it down. Never put it down. I'm talking dribbling, everybody knew, all times of the day and night in the streets. And that's why I just carried it everywhere after that, even to school, even to grammar school. I would always have a ball.
Always have a ball with you?
Always have a ball with me.
What was there? Was there something about like you said, you were playing out in the streets, but was there something when you picked up that basketball?
Well, back then I was a little shy, and almost like the ball kind of became almost like my friend, right? And kind of opened up doors that I normally wouldn't walk through. I mean, I became more outgoing. I became more outgoing when I picked that ball up. It was just something about it that just made me almost come out of that shell of being that shy 9-year-old, and I just opened up a little more then. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, when you were growing up, what type of organized opportunities did you have as a girl playing?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's easy. Grammar school, there was no girls' team. Now, I went to school 90 from K through 6, which was the sunshine of my life. And the coach was Mr. Polk. And he allowed me to play on the boys' team. He was the first one that gave me that point guard position. I was the point guard on the all-boys team in grammar school. And then after that, of course, well, my home court was Humboldt Park, which is now Martin Luther King Park. And we had the Randy Smith Classic. As I got older, I played in the Randy Smith Classic. So that was, but outside-wise, playing pickup ball, that's where I played all the time, or either next door. But organized, it was School 90, the boys' team. I was the only girl.
What was it like to be the only girl on that team?
Oh, it was awesome. I wish I could bring some of the guys in, because I'm still friends with a few of them, and they like to tell a story how they wanted to get in the game, but I always was in their positions. It was awesome. I didn't feel any different. I mean, nothing. They didn't make me feel different. But basically, I was just as good as them. So they accepted that. It was good. No problems.
You mentioned playing at Humboldt Park.
Oh, yeah, that was my park. That was my home park.
Your home park.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about or describe that park culture of basketball? Because I feel like that's something we don't maybe see as much anymore.
Oh no, it was. Well, look here. You go to the park. Basically, if you were good enough to get picked up, and which most of the time I was. You go up, you get your 5. If you win, you on the court all day. But if you lose, you might sit and not get back on a game for a while. So that was really ground zero for learning how to play. My game is kind of, I would think, more street-like. You know what I mean? Fancy, maybe a little more flashy. And that's where I learned it at. Playing there, I was smaller then. I was smaller playing with the guys, so learning to do different moves, learning to handle the ball different ways, more physical with the boys. Always played with the boys. And then we, as we got older, we got on girls' teams. But boy, it was competitive. Then would take our teams and go to other parks to see where you stood in other neighborhoods, whether it be going out of the Perry Projects, going to Delaware Park. That was huge. Going on the west side, Hudson Park. We'd go all over the city. Sperry Park, you name the parks, we'd go find the game.
And you before we started recording, you were talking about playing, and I think you were talking about playing in the parks, with other women too, right? With Yvette and others.
Yeah.
So,
and that's as I got older. I'm not talking that's once I got into my teenage years. We'd play, you find a game, we'd go everywhere to play. And sometimes we'd actually schedule places to meet up and play. It was an everyday thing. I'm talking, especially in the summertime. We play for sun up to sundown. It's just what we did. It was a part of our day. That was a part of your day. You do what you do, and then you play ball. It just was.
And there were, in your era, there were some great women that came out of that. So, and then some were a little bit older than you. Yeah. What was that like? What was that like following some of those other women too?
Oh yeah. Look, when it jumps out in regards to our era, a lot of people were playing in a lot of competitive teams. It wasn't just good teams at McKinley. I'm talking about inner city. South Park had good teams. Hutch Tech. You knew if you went South Side, if you went to these schools, you knew the games weren't going to be easy. Every school had 2 or 3 girls that could really play. It's not like no one couldn't play. It was a sprinkle. All these teams, they were competitive. They were competitive. And look, there was a lot of girls, like Yvette, or like I said, when I was in junior high, Val Mosley was over at Grover Cleveland putting up 60 points. And we admire that from a distance. And you'd go follow her and try to see her games and see her play in the parks. So it was a lot of girls to look up to. It was a whole lot.
It sounds like, do you think that the girls playing in the parks and having that opportunity, foundation, like you said, you went to some of these schools, you knew that you were going to get a game because they were all playing in the parks.
That's right. We had a summer league. I don't know if you know Randy Smith, who went to Buff State and also played in the NBA. He established a summer classic at my home park, which was Humboldt Park back then, Martin Luther King Park. So he had a summer league, not just for the boys. There was a girls' summer league. So there were teams that we all competed against each other. And not only did we compete against each other, he provided us with uniforms. He provided us with sneakers. It was like we played under the lights, just like the guys. So did the females as I got older. We come back from college and we played not only Empire State games, we'd play the Randy Smith Summer Classic. And it was, I'm talking packed house. I'm not talking like empty stands. I'm talking people would come out to see the women's games, the girls' games, just as much as they would the men.
What do you think, I don't know if you can pinpoint anything, but what did you learn, like when you were playing and honing your game, that you were you were able to use at McKinley and then later at Louisville too?
Leadership, teamwork, how to get along and navigate with different people in life, right? Resiliency, how to come into difficult situations and know how to overcome, because when I went from McKinley, I think I scored over maybe 1,000 plus points. Then I had to do everything at McKinley, right? But I had good teammates, but I had to do everything. So then I go to Louisville. In college, you're a piece of a puzzle, right? And I always was a true point guard, but everybody on that team was the best on their team throughout the country, right? So you go in, and every day it's like you're going toe-to-toe with some of the best from all over the country. They chose Louisville. So you got to prove yourself all over again, right? So what happened with me, the senior point guard, 11 games in, she tore her ACL. And the ball was given to me. And I ran that point position from mid-season to the day I left Louisville. Even though you compete every year, no one was able to get that point, you know what I mean? I'm proud of that part. That's why I had so many minutes. And I worked hard. That laid the foundation for that was coming back home playing the Empire State games. The Empire State games, that was our Olympics. That was our Pan American games. That was our World Games. The Empire State games, it was something. I mean, that was our Olympics. And those coaches, those practices, even being a McKinley, it's still playing in the parks. Those made me a better player to deal with going to Louisville.
That's great. I definitely want to talk to you about empires, but first I want to go back to McKinley for a minute.
Yeah.
So tell me about your experience, playing at McKinley,
Right.
and that your senior year, clearly great accolades to your
Right.
senior year.
Now, mind you, I went to Riverside my freshman year.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that because I went to West Hurdle Middle School. Most students after West Hurdle went to Riverside. I played there as a freshman with one of probably the best players too, Kim Manning, that you might not even know. Kim Manning played at Riverside, also played at Canisius College for Carl Raybaum. And I think Sister was still there, but I'm not sure. So I went there freshman year, and it just didn't fit for me. So one of my brothers was over at McKinley. So I said, you know what? I told my parents, I think I'm going to leave Riverside and go to McKinley for my sophomore, junior, and senior year. So I went over there, and it was awesome. I found my home. Great team already. I fit right in. We won a lot of city championships, co-championships, but senior year, it was awesome. It was awesome. Couldn't get us all the way to the States. But I left my mark throughout. Actually, we lost to Syracuse Nottingham, Felicia Leggett and her crew.
Okay.
That's who beat us to get onto the States. That probably really, really put me on the map to be able to go out and compete against a team like Syracuse Nottingham that was loaded, and I probably played one of the best games I've ever had. Probably still to this day. I think I maybe put up about 30-some points against them, but we couldn't beat them. But to make All-State, wow. And we didn't have All-Western New York in '88. Okay. So just to be recognized, not just in Western New York, but the whole state, they seen, it meant a lot. I mean, I couldn't have done it without my team, of course, but it really did mean a lot. It kind of shocked me, actually. But I was really, really, still to this day, very proud to say that I made All-State. Not a lot of people can say that. So that meant a lot to me. Yeah, big time.
Why did it shock you?
You know what? You just, honestly, it never even was on my radar.
Right.
We always aimed to be all high in all Western New York. Never envisioned or even thought about trying to make All-State. All Western New York is what you bragged about. I want to be up, but we didn't have it that year, right? So when All-State came in, I was like, whoa. So they see me beyond here, beyond Buffalo, beyond Western New York region. They see me in the whole state, which is like me. Wow. Wow. It meant a lot. It still means a lot because not many of us did it.
Right.
Yeah, not many of us did it.
I'm wondering, and I don't want to project this onto you, but like when you get that honor that's a statewide that you weren't necessarily thinking about, and you're like, they see me, does that validate, give you extra confidence? You didn't have confidence before, but kind of like give you some assurance?
Well, I tell you, I think it kind of, well, maybe it did in a way. It showed me. It showed me that, look, I can compete with anyone. And it was preparing me to move on to that next stage in Louisville. Empire State games I seen I could compete with anyone. But I wouldn't necessarily maybe thinking about being All-State. It's like I never even thought. It just wasn't on my radar.
Right.
I mean, I always wanted to be all high. You know what I mean? All, like, which was our all city, all high, and all Western New York. That's what I always aimed for. So to jump and become All-State, it kind of said, hey, for this state of New York, that's something that I guess I'm one of the best that's doing it in this state, and it meant a lot. It still does at that time,
One more question about McKinley.
Yeah.
So when you were playing, I'm just curious, did you guys or girls compare yourself to the boys team? Like, as far as, how did you feel as far as like resources, support? Did you feel it was pretty even, or did you even think about that?
No, I didn't really think about it because we were good and they were good. They came to our games. we went to their games. Game day, we walked to school with our uniform and our sneakers on. They did the same thing. Coach Gus was the boys' coach. My coach was Coach Don Shelf. We'd be in their offices all together. I never felt any less because we were just as good. We were doing the same things they were doing. And we were competing at a high level, and we were getting recognized for it as well. I think in that way, I think we were lucky. We were lucky that we were good enough to be recognized. And people liked the women's game. Back then, you wouldn't think they came out to our games, just like the boys' games. They came out. I mean, they weren't as crowded, but they were there. They supported us.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think that on that point. No, I think we got the support we needed. I think we got it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so.
That's great. That's great
I think
to
so.
hear. Yeah.
At Riverside, it wasn't that way.
Okay.
But McKinley it was.
McKinley was. Yeah.
I
think it was it sounds like it was, well, also just historically, like ebbs and flows,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like sometimes
That's
people
right.
are interested,
That's
and
right.
winning brings a lot of
It
interest,
does.
too.
It sure does. It sure does. Yeah.
So tell me how you ended up at Louisville.
Well, hey, it was I played at the Boys and Girls Club a lot too. Was getting trained by a guy by the name of Nick Moore and Joe Brown. Initially, working me and Tony Webb. Tony Webb's a name. She played at Holy Angels and went on to play at Kansas. So her and I did a lot of workouts. Nick established a connection with Louisville. It was other schools that recruited me, but Nick kind of laid that foundation. So I went to visit there, and fell in love with it. I'm a country girl at heart. My parents are from Tennessee. Okay. So we spent a lot of summers down in the southern part of the country. So right away, I also looked at the point guard was a senior point guard, so I knew my day would probably come sooner. I could have stayed home or went other places, but it just felt good. And a lot of friendships. That summer before I decided to go there, that class, we were all down there together. It was 4 of us, and we're all still friends. And we hit it off right away, too. So I think that had a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about it, but tell me about your experience at Louisville.
Well, it was probably where I grew up the most. It was the first time, I'm the youngest of 7, and it was the first time I really, truly was away from home. But one thing for sure, my team was my family, and my coaches became surrogate mothers, right? But what I missed most was in high school, my mother was at every game. So down there, I'd only see her and my dad would come maybe twice a year, or when we played at Syracuse, of course, up this way, senior year they came, but I missed that support. So, but overall, it was a great experience. The men's team won the championship in '86. Now, you could tell the difference between the women's program. We were losing in the men's program. Legends. I mean, I'm talking like they won '86 when we were there. They won the championship. I was there '84 to '88. But before that, they won it in '80. So Coach Denny Crum, they had some of the best players in the country. So they played in Freedom Hall all the time. We played at Manley Fieldhouse. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the Empire State games. We played at Manual High School most of our regular games. And then when we got in a conference play, we go into Freedom Hall. So there was a difference in that. What you were asking me about high school difference? None.
Right.
College difference? There was a big difference. Got treated great. Didn't pay for a thing, full ride, nothing. Everything was taken care of. But there was a difference in the programs, no doubt. I mean, they were national champs. The men were. So
right. And do you think that that's because of their success and national champs? You're yeah. You wouldn't even think that.
Didn't even blink.
Yeah.
Didn't even blink. They deserved everything they got and more. Mm-hmm. I mean, they earned it. They earned it. Us, we didn't. Right. I mean, we weren't winning. We weren't winning. So I'm not saying we got treated badly, but it was what it was. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we felt any less because we had everything, but we played like preseason games and all that, non-conference games. We definitely play at a high school. Now we play at a high school, but conference play, straight to Freedom Hall, all games. So,
was that different for like as a player to have to like go from that gym to the other to Freedom Hall?
Yes. I mean, honestly, it's the high school gyms are small. Freedom Hall, the ceilings were high. You had to adjust to. It's almost like the bounce of the ball was different. The height of your shot was different, and also you got to remember, for us, that would have been freshman or sophomore year. They switched the ball sizes. We played with the men's ball throughout, and then they gave us the smaller women's ball. And for me personally, that definitely affected my shot. I always did better with the men's ball because that's what we always played with.
Right.
But then, of course, as time went on, you got used to it. But I don't think my shot ever adjusted to it.
I think that's something a lot of people forget was that the ball size changed, and that changes everything, right?
Everything. I mean, they thought they were doing us a favor because our hands are allegedly smaller. You'd be able to handle it better. You'd be able to shoot a better percentage. But maybe for the next generation, not for the generations that had always played with the men's ball. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I wish I could have tracked my percentages before I shifted from the men's ball to the women's. It was definitely a different shot. I mean, even the handle, that men's ball, I could grab everywhere with it. The women's ball was smaller, so you had to have it right there, you know. That was a transition. I don't know if many people talk about that part.
I don't think they'll talk about the 3-point line, but they don't talk about the size of the ball.
The size of the ball changed during our era. I want to say that had to be either 85 or 6. One of those years is when it shifted, because I remember we all had to take it home that summer.
Well, you're used to, when you were 9 years old, you were carrying the ball around, so you were used to that.
Right,
but,
right.
So was that different than like when you're playing playground? When you go, like, were you playing playground did you come home in the summers and play?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're playing with the men's ball.
Right. I mean, think about it. Think about that. It was a big shift. I don't know if a lot of people even took that in consideration, or maybe it didn't affect their game. Maybe they didn't even think about it. To me personally, because I was a hard passer, to me personally, I even had to adjust that, because the flight of my passes, it was more boom. I had to lay off it because it was lighter. It was just to me, it was a transition,
right,
for me.
So I want to go back. You mentioned Empire State Games already.
Yeah.
So did you play Scholastic and Open?
I did.
Both of them?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So tell me about that experience.
Well, me and Kathy Sweet were just talking about when her mother would pick us up, right, in the station wagon, pick up me and Tony Webb with Kathy and drive us to Empire State Games practices, tryouts, things of that nature. And that laid the foundation of really playing at the highest level for us in this state, right? That was, I say it over and over again, because not all of us could make a Olympic team, a Pan American Games, any of those World Games. That was our Olympics. I mean, I'm talking, we Western New York. We're in Western New York, walking in the stadium during the opening ceremonies with your Western New York uniform on, and that chill that you get and those goosebumps was the most exciting thing ever. And we won a lot of gold medals and silver medals too. We were very competitive. We had some good teams and great coaches. We played, Scholastic, Al Best, Mike Rappel, Sister Maria, Sal Biscaglia. Those are all Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Famers, those three. Al Best is from the Rochester area. That was the best of times and probably the most competitive besides college ball. High school was competitive too, but I mean, but that was like really bragging rights for this state.
Right. When you got to play, especially in Scholastic,
Yeah.
like when you're
Oh,
playing
yeah,
those in
yeah.
high school and
Yeah.
you're playing with those other, and you're trying out and you're
Right.
playing with those other girls.
Yeah.
What was it like to, because now, like, not, you had good talent around you in high school,
yeah.
but now you're with the best of the best. So what was it like to see the depth of talent that was in the area?
I loved it. Oh, I loved it. And the thing then is, well, you had to. It was a lot of competitiveness. It was a lot of competition, going toe to toe. And then when you end up being the one, whether from Scholastic to Open, when they do those starting lineups and you're the one that's starting at that position, you know, okay, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. But boy, we all made each other better. And then after the games are over, you come home. First thing you do is wear your jacket to school. No, see, the whole sweatsuit.
The whole, yeah.
Oh.
That sweatsuit, I've heard people be like, I wanted to make it just for the sweatsuit.
The whole sweatsuit. Yeah. You know, I was looking. We had our 40th high school reunion, and I was the most athletic senior year, and I'm in the sweatsuit, the jacket in the picture. And that was the pride of it, making it, because a lot of people couldn't make it.
Right.
A lot of people couldn't make it. So everybody, Empire State Games was it.
I know that, you had mentioned like Louisville, like you had that connection through Boys and Girls Club, but also at Empire State Games, how important do you think that was for girls basketball, for the girls in the Western New York to get noticed by other people?
It was. Coaches from all over the country. I'm trying to remember the year. That would have to have been my senior year. Either my junior or senior year. After Empire State Games, my phone was ringing. And not just mine, a lot of players. Coaches came from all over the country to watch the Empire State Games. New York had a lot of talent. So the Empire State Games definitely put you in that pedestal where they can see you play. I mean, it wasn't AAU then. We didn't do a lot of AAU. So that right there exposed a lot of players, So, that definitely opened a lot of doors.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
Shift gears a little bit, and I want to talk about your officiating career. Tell me what, after Louisville, after you graduated Louisville, then tell me about your journey there with basketball.
Okay, so after Louisville, of course, I came home and took a lot of civil service exams, ended up becoming a trooper, but I still played in a lot of leagues. I still was playing. So when the time came that I wasn't playing so much anymore, I still needed to be close to the game because I always will. You know what I mean? Basketball is a love that I can't let go. So I picked up the whistle, right? I just seen it in the paper, right? I knew I wanted to do something. Everybody always say, well, what about doing a little coaching? I never wanted to do that. So I picked the whistle up. I went to the class on my own and became an official, and it's the best thing after playing that I could have done. Because actually, with refereeing, I accomplished some things that I didn't do as a player, okay, as an official, i.e. going to the state tournament. And still, I got called to go to the state tournament again this year, but I turned it down. Let somebody else go. But as a player, I didn't make it. So Leo Kaminsky's also on the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame board. He was the first one that called me when I got the call to go ref at the state tournament. And I got so emotional because I told him as a player, I couldn't make it. I failed at that, right? But to be able to go as an official, I mean, what's the next best thing? Either coaching or officiating, something like that. And now I made it. I arrived. So that kind of helped me kind of be okay with myself not making it as a player, right? Making it as an official. Oh yeah, and numerous times, So it kind of, and it's still all basketball related, right? So it kind of that little thing that's always ate at me that I didn't make it as a player, making it as an official has kind of made me let it go. let it go.
You were able to
I'm
let
okay.
it go.
Yeah.
What was it like for you now to be on the other side, right? Because I'm going to guess that every player has problems with the officiating at times. So what was it like to be on that other side of it?
Well, I wasn't the easiest player to officiate. I speak to officials who are old timers. I had a little edge about me, and I would question things if I didn't think it was right. So being on this side of it, it gives me a whole different vision. But I love players who are like that, because we should explain our calls if need be. If a player approaches you respectfully, you should answer him. If a coach talks to you a certain way, a head coach, you should address the question. It has made me see basketball in a whole different light, and I love it. I see all the ins and outs from both sides. I see it as the player. I see it as the official. I see it being close as a coach, listening to how they are. I mean, it is, I tell you, officiating, I didn't think I could love anything as much as playing, but boy, they're probably neck and neck.
Really? Why? What is it? What is it about the officiating that keeps it at that high level for you?
You know, I think it might be the fact that, maybe as a player, I was good at a lot of things, and not, and accomplished a lot. But I think as an official, I think I proved that I could really, really do all the things that I couldn't do as a player. You know what I mean? And it's fulfilling. It's not an easy job, and everybody can't do it. But it's rewarding in different ways that I don't think playing did for me, and which is surprising. That's why that's why I've been doing it so long.
Right.
I can't seem to walk away from it. And I'm getting to that age where a lot of guys go longer than females anyway, but I don't want to be that one. I don't want to. I kind of want to still be at the top of it when I go. I don't want to be that declining one where people are saying, "Oh, maybe she shouldn't still be doing this," right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of go out while you're still on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there something that most surprised you about becoming an official?
Oh, well, out the gate, what surprised me is that I wasn't good at it. I thought that officiating would become natural because I was a high-level player. Wrong. But what I had to do was work at it. I went to every camp imaginable, something like this, or starting at the bottom. What happened for me was in the gym working out. I wasn't very good at it, and I didn't understand why. I see a flyer for a camp. It's a men's camp. Jimmy Hutter running the camp, men's junior college camp, and I go, the only female there, to learn. And from that day, I kept learning, latching on to people who were good, watching them officiate, watching film. I mean, I probably studied, more officiating stuff than I did with basketball. I just took basketball that I was just good at it. Officiating, I wasn't, and then worked hard to become it. And just studied it and never got sick of it, and just got better and better at it. And it became, it's probably the best thing besides playing that I could have ever done. And the friendships you gain. I mean, you gain lifelong friendships playing. You gain even more in officiating because it's a rare breed. It's a lot of people don't want to do it. I'm trying to get these young girls. I go into these gyms. I'm recruiting them all the time. Come on. Not only is it rewarding when your career is over, financially, it's not bad extra money. But I can't. I'm not getting enough. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with the issues that come with it.
That come with it, right? Yeah.
You got to have thick skin. You got to turn their ears off. You can't have rabbit ears and listen to all, because not everybody, they're coming. It's, if you listen to everything, imagine that in your head. You got to, and just zero in on the court. Everything that has to do with the court. And out here, if you can, you gotta turn it off.
Did that take you time to learn how to do that?
Yeah. Absolutely. But I think what gave me a leg up on it as well is being in law enforcement. I mean, of course, I'm not perfect at it, but being in law enforcement, I think, gave me an edge on dealing with all of that as well, you know. But no, in the beginning, I heard everything, and I didn't like it, right? But as time went on, I mean, if you focus so much on what's going on out there, your whistle will be affected the whole game because you can't concentrate on what you're there for, your job. So I tell a lot of younger officials, I mean, what am I, 26 years in officiating, maybe 27. What you need to learn to do is focus on the task at hand. Because the people who are out here complaining, they're not out here doing our job, and nor do they want it. So just try to work on closing that part out.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard, but just work on that.
How have you, so 26, 27 years officiating,
27.
I mean, how have you seen the girls and women's game evolve? Because it has changed. Has it changed?
Oh, it has changed. Uh-huh. It has changed. It's not as good, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's not as good. Even though they have a lot of AAU and all that, some are good though. They're playing year round, they're coaching, they're year round, they're things like that. But some I don't think it's as good as it was.
In what ways? Like how so?
Skill wise.
Okay.
It's almost like they may be spending too much time just playing the AAU and not doing the developmental part. But they got a whole lot more avenues and outlets to improve. You know, I mean, the future's bright. They have everything. It's awesome. They have everything. They got every resource possible. I mean, imagine being able to go in any gym around the city. You can play in leagues everywhere. They're putting the resources there for them to get better if they want to get better. I mean, so, yeah. I look at it like that.
Yeah. So what do you like? You see that like with this like skill development.
Yeah.
So when you're playing, you know, like the AAU, or you're playing, like what do you think girls and they're not taking advantage of maybe?
Well, I think you got to get with the right one, because there are a lot of good ones. There are a lot of good AAU programs, but when I'm referring in regards to the city games. I'm gonna go there because that's where I came through. Buffalo City games. It's just not as skill based. These girls, like, I'm not talking about suburban. I'm talking about in the city. They need more resources and take advantage of them. And sometimes if you don't know, you're not getting involved as more. And I think that starts with the coaching and also the athletic departments. Make them aware of what's out here, so they can work year round on it. They gotta want to too.
Right.
I mean, we wanted to, and if we didn't have anywhere to go, we played outside. Just go play. You have to play. You have to work on your skills. You have to work on your craft. You can't just show up basketball season and think you're going to be good at something that you haven't worked on year round. You have to work at it. So.
Do you miss the park culture, do you think? I mean, is that still around? Is it lessened than it used to be? I don't know what you've noticed about that.
Ooh. Well, I'm always going to miss the park culture myself. And whether there is, I can't really say for sure if they're doing how we did it when they're all around the city playing in the parks, because they can go other places to play now too. But like Cecily has the Girls Sports Foundation, where girls can go there, not just basketball and do other sports. But yeah, I'm not sure if these girls are going and playing in the parks anymore. I mean, I'm thinking even more now, they're even more scared of being hurt playing outside. So I'm not honestly sure if it's like it was when we were coming up.
Right.
I know when I go by the park, I don't see any females out there.
Yeah.
I see a lot of, I see a lot of young boys out there, but I don't see a lot of females playing outside. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really sure if they do that. I know the Police Athletic League has a summer league that's outdoors.
Right.
But I don't know if they're going around. I can't speak on that, whether they're still doing that.
Right. Well, did you have the Police Athletic League when you were growing up?
We had the PAL.
Okay.
We had the PAL, but not a league.
Okay.
Not a league. Not a league. And we didn't care if we had one with the PAL. We always had the Randy Smith League, right. But for the summer. But we were gonna find a park to play in.
You were gonna play no matter what. You're gonna find a way to play.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We were gonna find find a park to play in. It didn't matter where. I mean, you put your bike. You have that rack on the back of your bike. Strap the ball on there, and just go find a park, wherever the game's at. That's where we went. Yep.
You know, you mentioned what basketball meant to you, like when you were 9, right? When you first started, how that helped you. What is it about the sport, though, that you fell in love with that has now made it a lifelong part of your life?
Ooh, it's you know what? I'm gonna call basketball like my mother calls it. Basketball is my first love. Basketball is my first girlfriend. Basketball is my first boyfriend. Basketball is my first, put that first twinkle in my eye, right? Basketball stole my heart. And it's just, and I really could get emotional about it because it's just like it just became a part of who I am. And here I am carrying this with 9. I'm going on 50 years. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm going to be 59 tomorrow. Wow. I'm going on 50 years of having this relationship with basketball. I don't see it changing. Because even if I'm not playing it, reffing it, I'll be watching it. I'll be cheering for it. I'll be around it. I'll be always involved with it in some way, forever, as long as I'm here. That's it.
It's your love, right? It's
is.
just your love. It just captivated you.
Oh yeah, it is. And think about what it's done for me. Think about what it's done for me. Basketball. When it became my best friend, it also made me go right when a lot of people could go left, right? Basketball opened doors for me that probably wouldn't have been open. Basketball gave me friendships with people who normally we might not even been friends, but we didn't even think twice. It joined us together for lifelong friendships. Basketball gave me a free education, right? Gave me a free college degree. Gave me, let me travel the world, right? I mean, how can you not love something for that? How can you not, right? Look at all the avenues it gave me. And it's still, look at us.
Right.
It's
talking here today.
We're here talking here today. Right?
What was it like for you when you were inducted to the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame?
Crazy. I say that seriously, because take a minute and think about this. Of all the athletes in every sport that's ever played any game or anything in Western New York, for whatever reason, they thought of me to be worthy of something of that nature, right? That's when I got up there, I said, Mama, we made it. I'm like, what? To think that, I mean, it just baffles me that out of all these other athletes, a lot greater than I am or was, that I'm in there. It's really, it baffles me. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't wasn't accomplished, but boy, there's a lot of more people worthy, I think. But I'm grateful. And a lot of people probably don't mention this part. I don't know the exact number of the athletes that are in the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, but there's only 3 black females. Yvette Angel, long time ago. She should have been first, absolutely. Then me and Cecily Owens. There's only 3 out of all these athletes. That means a lot as well. During this Juneteenth month, right?
Yes, yes.
That means a lot as well. That might be a piece people don't even recognize. That might not, so it means a great deal that I was even considered now, because this year was the first year I went through the voting round to see how it works to get people into the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame, right? So to see after all these rounds, they went through these rounds, and I survived and made that. It amazes me that people thought I was worthy enough. It really does. Mm-hmm. It really does. So, I say it proudly. I wear my ring when when we have something going on. I don't just wear it all the time. But to know that I'll forever be there, long after I'm gone, I'll forever be there and considered one of the greats. It amazes me. Mm-hmm. It really does.
I wonder what Title IX means to you.
Oh, well, look, Title IX came I'm born in 66. Title IX is 72. Mm-hmm. So just really think about it. Would I be able to get a full scholarship? Would a lot of other females be able to get full scholarship? Would we be allowed to be treated on the same level playing field without it? Without Title IX, where would any of us be, right? We'd probably still be playing in the grammar school gyms possibly, right? Or on the worst fields, or if playing at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, without Title IX, none of this stuff would be possible. It meant everything. I mean, as in 72, am I paying attention to Title IX? No. But when that 84 came, and you starting to realize, man, I'm going to college on a full scholarship because of the things this did. The women that came before me, but Title IX did that for us. It leveled the playing field. We can't be treated differently. You have to treat us all with equality, right? Mm-hmm. So it meant a great deal. Great deal.
You mentioned the women who came before you, and my last question for you is, when future generation, what would you want current future generations of girls playing sports to kind of know about that history, especially here in Western New York?
Look, one thing for sure is know this. We're a small community in a big old world, but you can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you want to do. When you look in the mirror at yourself, say that you can do anything. One thing that sports does, it gives you the confidence to believe that. And it doesn't have to be great in sport. It makes you great in life. It prepares you for all things. I mean, and it don't have to be basketball. I always try to tell my nieces, grab a hold to something. Whether it be sports, whether it be art, whether it be dance. We can just go on and on. But grab something that you want to do and know that you can do anything in life you want to. When you look in the mirror, believe that you can. I would want to say, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and know that you are a special person. Believe that. You have to believe it. If you don't, no one else will. And it's not being arrogant or cocky. You just have to believe in yourself and love yourself. That's it. That's it.
That's a great way to end.
Yeah. Thank you.
DJ, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I felt like we were just talking at home.
That's what we were doing.